Hey guys, GHAZZY here with another Path of Exile 3.25 video. And in this one, we're going to talk about a little bit of an issue that I spotted within the first 20 minutes of the patch notes. It's about Dancing Dervish and how to abuse the living crap out of it and get 2 free 7-link minions for any build in the entire game. It's insane. Absolutely crazy. Before we crack into the video, I would like to say that if you do like these videos, I would very much appreciate if you hit the like button and subscribe for more content. It really supports the channel out. Thanks so much. Let's dive into it. Essentially, the Dancing Dervish changes right here, and I'll read it out loud for you. The Dancing Dervish unique sword no longer has manifested Dancing Dervishes disable both weapon slots. It is now cannot be used while manifested, meaning you can now weapon swap after manifesting dervishes and still use items in your second weapon set. So essentially what this means, I've tested it in game as well, is that the way Dancing Dervish works is that you get on hit a chance to get Rampage just by hitting a target. You also get the Rampage effect on your character at all times, which means every time you do get a kill, that counts as 1 Rampage kill. So for those of you who don't know what Rampage does, it's a buff that goes into increments where cool effects happen at certain increments. I think it's like 50, 75, 100, 150, and it stacks all the way to 1,000. And this gives you a buff that increases your movement speed as well as damage output. This does not apply to minions, however. So the way Dancing Dervish works is that once Rampage starts, which starts at 10 stacks, which is 10 kills, or with this weapon 10 hits, it will then disable your weapon slots. With this change, it will no longer disable your weapon slots. Instead, it will just make it so that that weapon slot you have with the Dancing Dervish cannot be used. And you are allowed to weapon swap now once your minions have manifested. So the TLDR is this. You get yourself a Dancing Dervish, you make it 6-socketed, put your support gems in, don't need to be linked. You go to a map, you kill 1 monster, or 10, you get your 10 kills. Make sure that Rampage starts, and now you have 2 Dancing Dervish minions that are flying around doing a ton of damage. Now you can weapon swap to a regular minion setup, which is normally wearing a shield and a wand, and you can have your off-slot weapons actively summoned and fighting for you. They are 2 7-link minions, scaling from all your gear you have equipped, scaling from all your skill trees and everything, with 6 support gems. A 7-link Dancing Dervish setup for free. Now, why is this so crazy? GHAZZY, why is it so good? You keep screaming about this. We've already had things like Sinvicta or Biscuit's Leash. So the way people are referring to when they say that is that we already have the position of having Sinvicta with Rampage. We have Biscuit's Leash, which also gives you Rampage. And what these things do is have been for a long time now allowing you to snapshot Rampage. Essentially, you would equip one of these items, you'd kill 10 monsters, now you have Rampage active. Then you switch back to whatever you want to play with, and you clear the map. Essentially, as long as you never let the Rampage run out by just clearing the map, getting the damage and movement speed buff, you don't have to have Rampage on your character. As long as you had it to start the Rampage, that's all you need. And most people don't want to go through jumping through the hoops to making this mechanic work for the movement speed and damage increase. It's a very frustratingly annoying approach to playing the game. But the problem with the Dancing Dervish is this. You get the Rampage effect, and that would be fine because most people don't even bother going through this mechanic to make this happen. But now you're getting that on top of 2 minions being 7-linked for free. Now let's start with the minion builds, obviously. They will scale damage from your tree and your gear, which you're already doing, allowing you to have these for free damage output, just like that. This means that every single minion build in the entire league will want to use this. And I just find this crazy, and it can't be true. This must be something they've done wrong. So I've sent some message out to them. I'm making this video for attention, and hopefully they'll attend to it or at least clarify what the hell's going on, because this is so beyond me that this managed to slip through. The other problem with this is for the non-minion builds. So why is this a problem for non-minion builds? Because they're not going to scale their damage from this. It's not going to do a ton of hits. the Rampage was already something you could do through Sinvicta or Biscuit's Leash as an example. So what's so crazy with it? Well, here's the problem. When you have a 6 support gem setup, there's quite a few things you can do. We can start with things like Impale. You can have added cold damage and then combine that with Elemental Army. Now Elemental Army is providing you with cold exposure, again, for free. You can have things like Culling Strike. You can have things like Blind on Hit, for example. Now you're suddenly ramping up a ton of different debuffs or things that are effects. You can have Maim in there. You can have Withering if you touch, if you're using melee attacks for chaos, or not just melee, but chaos damage. So now you have Withering Touch. You can have Maim, you can have Blind, you can have Culling Strike, Elemental Army for exposure with an added elemental. You can have Impale effects onto it. Suddenly, all of these things, even if it's not tons of damage, it still provides you with a large set of extra benefits to your toolkit for any build in the entire game, again, for free. It doesn't cost you anything to make this happen. All you have to do is weapon swap, do 10 kills, weapon swap back, and now you have all of these effects to your disposal. But again, mostly this is obviously for minion builds because of the fact that not only can you ramp up like poison stacks, as you can literally be in a position where, well, you can just do faster attacks, for example. You can have yourself with poison chance and so have all the scaling you have from your gearing apply to this. Unbound ailments, ramp the poison damage they're doing. You can run in with avoid manipulation. Suddenly you have the 7-link minion just adding to the raw power of the build that you're playing already. If you're doing a physical damage build, well, all you would do is running the fast attacks. Again, potentially, you can run a brutality for it. You can still run that Maim setup. You can have the physical support, melee physical support gem. You can have the area since it's a cyclone that's happening. Like the list goes on and on and on with what you can do with this. Hell, if you're even doing conversion stuffs with the setup that you're running, you can do Fist of Lightning and whatnot. Then you have 6 support gems, and you're getting a 2-set minions that are 7-linked for free. But most importantly, you don't even need to 6-link it. You put 6 sockets on it. I just don't get it. So the patch notes, like they said here, it says, meaning you can now weapon swap after manifesting dervishes and still use items in your second weapon set. I thought I misread this first. We had a discussion about this on the stream where maybe they worded it wrong. But every time I read it, this feels deliberate. And it makes no sense to me. Because Dancing Dervish has had a lot of AI issues in the past. And if their solution is to just give everyone the sword, it just makes no sense considering the fact that this is a tier 4 unique item, making it super common to drop. It will not be expensive, and everyone's gonna want one. I just don't know what else to say. I had to make this video to share this information with you guys, because if they don't fix it, get yourself a sword and have fun. If they're gonna fix it, I think we're gonna have a better time with the league. I genuinely don't think it's gonna be fun to go through and watch content creators for an entire 3-month, well, 4-month these days, go through and every footage, everyone's using a Dancing Dervish. I think that's going to be really dull to watch. So hopefully we'll see some clarification of this. But again, if you like these videos, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for more content. It supports the channel a lot. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, as always, stay safe, keep rocking.